management. Then also industry needs academic help for troubleshooting, restructuring, like recently all of you might have read about the Kingfisher Jet Airlines and KLM, so many things are happening. And also research is another area where institutes can help the industries. Now here, as Professor Mishra has asked, sir, I am really privileged that FAPSI keeps conducting seminars and workshops. So now on, without fail, we'll keep you informed. And our director, Mr. Mallikarjun, is there. He'll be the contact point. And we'll keep you informed about all our programs. And wherever you think is good for you, please participate. And as I really appreciate, he says, have 7 rounds. 7 times you come to Federation. Because there, one-to-one also you'll be able to have opportunity to interact with the industries. The best for the people in Hyderabad. At 7 times you come, you will be having your own circle and you will be learning from them. So that's number 1. And secondly, sir, I commit that we'll work with you. IP and Federation will work with you for the betterment of the society. We'll take it forward and committedly we'll work with that. Now, with an estimated availability of 58.6 million new jobs by the end of the decade in the domestic market, the academia and industry can act in a concentrated manner so that these opportunities materialize and operate as an employability guarantee. The vision should be to forge ahead integration among government, academia and industry to attain environment-friendly knowledge society. I may mention here that the Government of India has created National Knowledge Commission with an objective to ensure enhanced employability. The Commission proposes that academia and industry should engage themselves in joint research to encourage innovation and competitiveness in the global economy. Government of India has also constituted National Council on Skill Development. The council will be an apex body that will guide activities for skill development in the country. I hope today's deliberations will certainly throw light on the above aspects and bring out the policy framework to optimize the capabilities of the individual institution and industry. As here also I am reminded of a story long back I read, and all of you know the story, but there's nothing wrong to share here. All of you, story of rabbit and tortoise. Both were friends and decided to have a race, and they started having race, and then what happened? The tortoise was there, started a little earlier than that, but he was running tuk very slow, and that rabbit came, and tortoise in between, this rabbit was there, he was running very fast, and he thought the tortoise is left much behind. He found a tree there, thought that to have a nap there. He was sleeping there, but from the back this tortoise came and won the race. So here what lesson we learned that time, that it's only slow and steadiness which wins the race. After some time, that because both of them were friends, the rabbit said, again let us have a race. But this time again rabbit started running fast. He also found the tree there, but what happened? Did he sleep this time? No. He thought not to sleep because he became more intelligent and he won the race. So what the message we got it? Fast and speed, it was a race. Now both of them became intelligent. Now this time again the tortoise became also intelligent. He said again let us have a race. But this time I will be framing the rules. So now the same path will be going to another direction. And rabbit immediately accepted the offer. And on Sunday morning they fixed the race and they started having the race. And rabbit was running very fast. He came and then after running for some time he found there is a big river. And he was not able to cross the river. He has to stop there. And from the back side, now tortoise came with his own speed and found rabbit, without waiting there, jumped into the river, swim and came out that side of the river, and tortoise won the race. So what the message we got it? It is strategies which wins the race. Now both of them were intelligent. Now again rabbit says, okay, now again we'll be having race, but I will set the rules. Then again what time race is started, this rabbit says, tortoise, you come and sit at my back. And tortoise was sitting his back and rabbit was running fast. They came near to the river, then he asked, now river, I will be sitting on your back. And river, tortoise was there and rabbit was sitting his back, and they crossed the river. And both of them, they won the race. So what is the message? It's not the slow and steadiness which wins the race, it's not the speed which wins the race, it's not the strategy, but it's all teamwork. Very, very important. Professor Mishra says it is teamwork. So teamwork, again, for the institutes, academy and industry. It must be having extremely good teamwork for the society, so society becomes a winner. All the best to all of you and good luck.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your interesting anecdotes, your perspectives and suggestions on the industry-academy interface. May I now request Shri Malti Chandrasekhar to please deliver the keynote.
Director of the Institute for Public Enterprise, Mr. Menon, Dr. Madhu, Dr. Sai Kumar, Dr. Chandrasekhar Rao, Dr. Nandita, and other invitees, and my dear friends. Good morning. Good morning. Right? So actually the theme of the meeting today, Academia Interaction. This is what we are doing maybe since the inception of Jawahar Knowledge Centers in the state of Andhra Pradesh. We have been doing this, bridging the gap between industry and academia. We have been doing a lot of things. And to present a few issues that have come up on our way, maybe some of the issues related to academia, some of the issues which have been related to industry, I present here today so that I leave people here thinking how to overcome this. Maybe if you look at the JKC initiative which has been started by Government of Andhra Pradesh to increase the employability of graduates coming out from colleges in the state of Andhra Pradesh. The only objective of this initiative is to bridge the gap between industry and academia so that employability, rate of employability would increase. Maybe over the 4 years, we have seen a lot of changes. We have been able to interact with students across the state. We have been able to interact with industry, major MNCs. Maybe Mukunda is one of them with whom we interact very closely for all kinds of things, all kinds of inputs from the industry and take them to the academia. And we have been interacting with all universities. Even last year, more or less like same period, we had a meeting with all the affiliated colleges, principals and vice chancellor, where we were trying to tell what would be the best in the interest of students and in the interest of the industry, right? So, to run through, I have 10, 15, 10, 12 slides. Maybe all of them are, they will touch you, and mostly I am targeting the students here because there are so many things that the industry expects from you. Maybe you don't know, you are not aware of that. So maybe you have a lot of energy, but you are not putting that energy in that direction. So with my observation, with the students from all disciplines, I present these issues. Maybe now it is for you to think on those lines and see what best can be done. And there are few things which are addressed towards industry, which they have been doing, but they can still do much better. There are few things which are with the other stakeholders like colleges, faculty, management, government, all kinds of things. All those maybe we'll have a interaction session. So actually, I have been with the National Institute of Technology for 16 years. So with my understanding of academic institution, what happens in the academia, I have put them there. Maybe if you look at all those points, you have fixed subjects, task is cut out. Maybe you have 6 subjects per semester, 4 semesters or 6 semesters or 8 semesters. That's what you have to do. Maybe you have small privilege of selecting few subjects out of your interest in the form. That's what you have. That's what you take up. And mostly, even if you come to this curriculum, most of them are concentrated over theory. What happens, x plus y is equal to something. That any curriculum, whether it is BSc or MBA or engineering or whatever it is, you will have 6 subjects and 2 practicals. And even these 2 practicals, you just go, maybe one of you that we have, right? They are looking at different aspects. Now slowly there is a change, but still that change should be much faster. Then examination, the change in curriculum is a long process. I think most of the faculty here would agree for this. If you want to change, maybe somebody was, Mr. Mishra, he was talking about change in curriculum, change in, fixed. And if you want to change, restructure a particular curriculum, it takes a long time. Or maybe if you restructure today, maybe at the end of 2 years or 3 years you get the product. By then, maybe that particular restructuring has no value, because if you look at the industry is changing very, very fast, and maybe if you take 2-3 times to restructure a course, I think by the time the restructured product comes out, it's again obsolete, right? Then industry is, that is the other reason why your restructuring becomes a topic, so that there is a lot of clarity to the audience, to a group of people. You cannot do it. But if I ask you to write, you can write 10 pages. So that's not the thing expected today. So that's the other issue that's happening in the industry, in the examination. Then when it comes to even performance, most of the things you do it individually. Whether it is an exam or whether it is a thesis or whatever it is, you do it individually. And when you go into industry, you are required to work in teams. You are required to work in groups. So how to work in groups? It's very, very tough. So maybe somebody is dominating you, how to cut him down. You are very, very mild, how to overtake that fellow. All these kind of things really, unless you work in teams, you don't have that practical experience, and when you land up in the industry, there is a big, somebody was, Mr. Mishra, he was talking about change in curriculum, change in, fixed. And if you want to change, restructure a particular curriculum, it takes a long time. Or maybe if you restructure today, maybe at the end of 2 years or 3 years you get the product. By then, maybe that particular restructuring has no value, because if you look at the industry is changing very, very fast, and maybe if you take 2-3 times to restructure a course, I think by the time the restructured product comes out, it's again obsolete, right? Then industry is, that is the other reason why your restructuring becomes a topic, so that there is a lot of clarity to the audience, to a group of people. You cannot do it. But if I ask you to write, you can write 10 pages. So that's not the thing expected today. So that's the other issue that's happening in the industry, in the examination. Then when it comes to even performance, most of the things you do it individually. Whether it is an exam or whether it is a thesis or whatever it is, you do it individually. And when you go into industry, you are required to work in teams. You are required to work in groups. So how to work in groups? It's very, very tough. So maybe somebody is dominating you, how to cut him down. You are very, very mild, how to overtake that fellow. All these kind of things really, unless you work in teams, you don't have that practical experience, and when you land up in the industry, there is a big problem. Then self-learning. Maybe all of you should go back home and question how many topics in a particular course you are learning on your own. That's still big question mark, 2 question marks. And student profiles these days, maybe we keep observing students across the state. One thing, but when it comes to colleges, higher education, People are just concentrating on their exams. When it comes to extra learning, they never really participate. They think that it's not my interest, it's not my job. But when he comes out of the institute, if he wants to develop all this, it takes a long time and maybe you don't really get to that. So these are some things that really happen in the academia, and most of the things they have to take a turnaround. Right? Next slide. So what industry is looking for? Now let us see what kinds of things. Maybe written communication, listening, spoken, reading, all kinds of things, comprehension. How do you understand, take it, all these kind of things, but most of the students, they lack this. For various reasons, maybe they must be having different mother tongue influence, they must be coming from a Telugu medium school, all kinds of things. But to learn English, it's not very big task. If you make English centric, that means English is very, very essential. And maybe how good you are in presenting yourself, how confident you are. Generally, if you really look at the profile of students, at least 60% of the students, when they come on stage, they start shivering. Even, somebody, we have a lot of examples cited from the HR teams. When they say the fellow has 90%, when he asks about a particular concept, if he wants him to write, he will write it. But if he wants him to speak, he cannot speak. He fails to speak for 10 to 20 seconds, but he can do it on paper. But that's not the thing that the industry is looking for. Attitude, maybe there are several examples for this kind of attitude. When somebody tells you do this today, when you are in the industry, tomorrow he gives a different specification. Generally people will say, what is this? Yesterday you gave me this specification, today you are changing. He is your client, he is paying you, he has every business to change his specification. That's how you should be able to take it. But most of the time, it doesn't happen. So these are some examples, behavior and manners, how you present yourself and how you, interpersonal skills. When you go for a job, these are the things actually the industry tests you on. He asks you what are your strong points. You just say hardworking, sincere. When you say hardworking, you have to elaborate and tell him how you can prove that you are hardworking. And there are several people who do not even speak complete sentences. So interpersonal skills, you are going to sell yourself to the industry, you have to tell it. So how strong is your character? Character is measured on several parameters. How is your behavior, how is your presentation, how is your get up, how is your, all these kind of things. Socialization, how can you mix with people? Don't like to mix up with people. Maybe when you are in the industry, you need to interact with with people from different countries. How do you socialize? How good you are? Then decision making, how fast you can make a decision. Do you want coffee or tea? Most of the time, anything. Why should you say anything? When there is a choice, you can always say, I want coffee. Maybe you can observe all these things among your friends or whatever it is, but these are the things. Then maybe, in addition to these, people will be looking for analytical skills. Fortunately, we have good analytical skills. Most of the students from India, we have good analytical ability. If there are some requirements, you need to change. You need to change, maybe you are working on a particular job or particular skill, you should be flexible to change to other domain or whatever it is. When the requirement is there or when you are still working, you need to look at what would be the other skills that you need to talk about. Learnability. So, today maybe industry would say, learning doesn't stop when you get a job or when you leave the college. Even when you are on the job, you should keep learning new things and new technologies or new strategies or whatever it is. Just now Mr. Shekhar Kapoor, the industry is changing very fast, strategies are changing, technology is changing, and if you look at technology changes every alternate year. So unless you have learnability, the industry doesn't accept you. Then few things, you should be a good team player, that's what, working in groups or whatever it is. Project and process management skills. So, or a process, how to manage the project or how good you are in the, how fit you are in the process is a big question mark. So these are the skills that people from industry test you on, whether it is a written test, maybe they test you on analytical skills, maybe a group discussion, they test you on communication skills. So all these kind of things you need to know. So these are some of the things that give you analytical skills, they give you project management skills or process management skills, other kinds of things you have to pick up on your own, right? So these are the things that you should be looking at. Next slide. So maybe few months back, the prediction said the industry is growing at the rate of 30%. And obviously when the industry is growing, a simple rule, given the employment, it must be going at the rate of 30%. But there are several variables to this. The first variable is industry doesn't take you if you are not suitable. Even if they have 30 people requirement, maybe only 10 people are fit here, they take only 10 and they say we will wait for the other 20 good people later on. That's what it is. So, if Satyam wants 18,000 and only 3,000 are fit, I don't think they will say, I want 18,000, they will take anybody. They will not really do it. Only if you are fit, they will keep a project pending, right? They don't take wrong people and put them in strategic positions. Then the other thing is industrial growth, employment requirements are driven by financial markets. Maybe now you have been hearing about a lot of financial meltdown and maybe job opportunities coming down, but it's only a temporary phase. Maybe the things will take time to settle down and the things will be much better in the future. So maybe when we go to several places, people start asking very emotional questions. Why only English? We are from, maybe we should respect our language, mother tongue, all kinds of emotional things. So you need to look at the phenomena of globalization. Maybe now, earlier maybe you were talking about Hyderabad, Delhi, India. Now globalization is the phenomena. Entire world is acting like a unit. Interact with your client or customer, there should be a common interface, and it so happened that English is one common interface that's existing today. So English has become very, very essential, right? Next slide. Maybe if you ask anybody what would be the weightage given to the written examination, maybe first screening, you need to be above 65%, then you are screened. You are coming to the lot, then you are tested on several aspects. There is a lot of industrialization, lot of changes. What are the requirements of the industry? So obviously we have to change, right? Then global market. So that's the other one. Earlier maybe if you produce something in Hyderabad, maybe it used to be distributed across in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Maybe neighboring, look at your pen or something, maybe the nib is coming from Germany, the other part is coming from China, the rest of it is getting assembled somewhere. Maybe if you take a car, maybe there will be 10 countries which will be contributing to the finished product. Maybe if you take the industry or the interviews at the industry, learning at the institutes, what do you learn? So there are a lot of things that you learn in the institute, maybe fundamentals. Maybe if you look at any curriculum, the more emphasis, there will be a lot of emphasis on fundamentals. The only underlying assumption is when you are strong with fundamentals, applications you can learn on your own. But are we spending time on learning applications? So when your teachers actually give you fundamental through their lecture or whatever it is, are you going back home and working on this? Maybe today there is a lot of information that is available. Maybe 20 years back, if you want to get some information, maybe you have to struggle in the library for several hours. Maybe now if you want, just click of the mouse, you get a lot of information, specific information. So that's out of those several hours to search information, maybe if you spend 1 or 2 hours today, you get good knowledge in application of a particular fundamental. So that is one gradual process. So this has to be done. Maybe the change in the academic curriculum or the changes in the approach have to be gradual, because when you have something restructuring done, it cannot be very, very rapid, because I cannot say this will work out after 3 years and change everything. After 3 years the market is down in that, and you cannot say all these graduates are useless. So what happens is, when there is restructuring or whatever it is, it will be very, very slow. You cannot take a risk. Not like just buying and selling. These are human resources. You cannot say we will train on this, and at the end of the day, if the strategy has changed or the technology has changed, all that human resource would be wasted. So what happens is, the changes in curriculum or changes in the courses will be very slow, but still we can we can learn new things by add-ons or extra curricular things. Character building. So generally, maybe I was very happy when Mishra he was giving instructions to all teachers, all the students here, saying that if you do anything, I will throw you out or whatever it is. I always believe teachers they always want perfection. Nothing less than perfection. He was very firm. I want perfection in this room. So that's the reason what I was telling, character building. Character building, it doesn't come overnight. And when you go for industry, there will be people who are trained to assess your character. Maybe if you go and lie in an interview or to a person from industry who is there to test your character, you will be caught within no time. Maybe generally people will come and say, I read newspapers every day. You asking, what are the top news headlines today? Sir, today I was busy with my interview preparation, I did not read my newspaper. Then he also has something to test you. Tell me 5 news stories in the last 1 week. Then maybe you will start saying, sir, new party has come. Okay, that everybody knows. There was bomb blast. That also is not very, very important news for the industry. Maybe if you tell there is Sensex has gone down by 1200 points today, then he will think this fellow is following something which is relevant to the industry. Maybe if I take him, he will be good for the industry or this kind of thing. So, if you try to, if you do not really have a inbuilt character, you will be caught within no time. And people are on the other side, they are trained for that. They must have seen thousands and thousands of students, right? So unless you have original characters, it is very difficult to get through the selection process. Then strong commitment and focus. You need to have focus. Where am I going to land up? What am I doing to reach that goal? You need to have all these kind of things. Then of course the other things that you need to have, soft skills, communication skills and technical skills. And maybe if you go and ask somebody, would you give more weightage to technical skills or soft skills and communication skills? I think 70% or 80% would tell, I will give more emphasis to soft skills and communication skills rather than technical skills. Because maybe technical skills over a period of 2 months or 3 months, they can train you. Say, if somebody takes you for an industry, you will be working in a particular domain. That domain skills he can train you in 90 days. But if he wants you to, if he wants to make father's name change, just by looking at your resume, people can tell about your character. Few questions, first 2-3 questions, he will make a decision. So 60 to 70% of the decision is made, whether to take you or say goodbye to you. Right? So you should be very, very careful. Next point. So these are reasons why you don't get hired, or several things. Most of the time you come for an interview with a jeans or whatever it is, people think you are not just formally. Then inability to express information. So I was telling you, differentiate that. That is how you need to tell. So you have come there to sell yourself. If you say you are hard worker, you need to express. How, say I get up at 6 o'clock, I prepare for my lecture today, or I prepare for the class today, I do my homework, all this kind of thing. But if you tell lies there, again you will be caught. So unless you have the character, or you have been doing that for a period of time, you cannot tell that. Genuine interest or enthusiasm. So to learn new things, you should be very, very enthusiastic. Maybe if you say, I have done all these courses, okay fine, other than this what do you have? Then you say, I have certified by Microsoft. I have this particular, I have done this particular project and I have won a prize in the competition. Then people think that you are enthusiastic. You are doing something other than your coursework. So then maybe even when you join the industry, they assume that you can be helpful. You can be doing several other things. Then unwillingness to start at the bottom. Many times if you go and ask, I want only this, I want only to work on this.